Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So my name's Katie and today I'm doing another book haul which I buy a lot of books. I may have a problem. No, I don't think I have a problem. I think I just like buying books and it makes me happy, and because I read quite a lot then obviously I have to buy books. Well, I don't have to buy them because I could get them on my Kindle or yeah, but we're not going to talk about that. So yeah, we're just going to enjoy the books that we bought and, well, I bought. So a couple of these were sent to me by the publishers, which I'm incredibly thankful for, or by the author actually, one of them. So that's very exciting, but quite a few I bought like with my own money. But yeah, some of them are like pre-orders and stuff and books I'm very excited for. So yeah, it's a very exciting haul today. And yeah, another little haul item. Well, I mean, you'll have seen Panini already in my other video because I think I introduced her in my TBR video. But yeah, she's very cute and I'm so happy to have her. But yeah, I better not let her anywhere near Maisie otherwise bye bye Panini. Yeah, okay, if you don't know, Maisie's my cat, an alive cat who is crazy. she had her like surgery a few days ago, and like the day of the surgery she got home straight away. So she had this like cone of shame thing. Straight away the cone was off. We tried to put it back on, off again, so we just gave up. And then she was like charging around the house like a loony like about an hour after she got home. Which yeah, ugh. I admire her energy and her ability to recover quickly. So yeah, so that was a tangent. Let's just get started on the haul. So first of all, we have A Vow So Bold and Deadly by Bridget Cumra, and this is the third book and final book in the Curse Breakers series, which the first one is A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and this is the conclusion. So I'm quite excited to get to this. I love the like spines. I mean, you can't really tell, you can tell on camera, but like I don't think you can't really see the title and stuff, but it's like holographic, which is really cool. So I'm excited to have this and see where the finale goes. The first one we're following Harper, who basically she's living in the real world, and then she gets taken away by this guy called Grey, who's like the bodyguard to this mysterious like beast character called Wren. So it's Beauty and the Beast retelling, the first one. And yeah, Harper has to try and survive in this kind of fantasy world, but she's like been brought up in our world, so it's really cool. And I feel like they kind of humour, or just sort of Harper's like wit and drive, and her kind of seeing her reactions to like the fantasy world is so like you think that's how you would react if you went, and like the kind of Game of Thrones references and stuff. It's quite funny. Yeah, and then I know the second one gets a lot of mixed reviews, but I actually really enjoyed it because it's kind of Princess and the Bodyguard. So yeah, and I really like Leah, who's the main kind of girl in the second one. And then so I assume we're getting like maybe all 4 POVs in this one, but yeah, so I'm excited to see where the series goes and how it finishes, and I just really love the cover. So yeah. Okay, then next, very exciting, we have A Desolation Called Peace by Arcady Martin. And so a funny story, so if anyone saw the tweet a while ago which was like book covers with kittens on them or cats on them, and A Desolation Called Peace was one of them. I'll try and put a picture in, and it's like got a kitten like screaming where the planet is. I don't know, you can like see the planet, and when I got this I was like, where's the cat? But yeah, no, I'm really excited to have this because I actually was lucky enough to read an arc of this and I absolutely adored it. Like I loved it more than A Memory Called Empire. And it's probably one of my new favourite books. And yeah, I just love all the characters and the politics and the kind of relationship. Oh, there's a sapphic romance, which and space kittens. Like if that doesn't sell you on the book, then I don't know what will. But yeah, it's really good, and I feel like there's an element of kind of military sci-fi, which is really cool. There's also an element of the First Contact storyline, which I thought was really good and like well explored. I just love this one. It's such a great sequel, and I'm really excited to have a physical copy. Although my A Memory Called Empire is paperback and this is hardback, which I don't really mind, but I would love a hardback of A Memory Called Empire. That would be amazing, but I think the UK hardbacks are really hard to find. So I don't think I'll be getting that one anytime soon, but I'm really happy to have this. I haven't actually looked. I always like to check if there's anything exciting on the like naked jacket, but there isn't in this one. But yeah, I think it's such a pretty cover and I can't wait to reread this. Ugh, yeah. next we have a whole saga. Okay, so if you've watched any like recent video on my channel, you know I love Winter's Orbit, which is by Verena Maxwell, who I found out is from Yorkshire, which is where I'm from, which is really cool. But yeah, so I bought myself a nice UK copy, which is very exciting, and it's stunning. I just love it. So yeah, I was very excited to have this one, but then the publishers sent me this copy as well, which I was very thankful for and grateful for. So now I have 2 copies of this one, but I took 1 copy with me to my university room, so I had a comfort book there with me, and then this one I'll keep at home. And then I also bought myself the US cover, which I'm not usually one to buy multiple copies of books, but like I love this book so much, and the US cover was stunning. So I had to justify myself, and this is a hardback as well. So yeah, I now may have 3 copies of Winter's Orbit, 4 if you count my Kindle edition, well, the ARC edition. But yeah, so yeah, but just look at the cover. Yeah, so I'd highly recommend reading A Winter's Orbit. Or it's not I would say A Winter's Orbit, but it's literally just Winter's Orbit. It follows, it's kind of like Red, White and Royal Blue in space, meets a bit of A Memory Called Empire. I feel like that's quite a similar storyline almost. So following Kiem, who is kind of engaged, suddenly gets this engagement thrust upon him to this guy called Gideon. And Gideon is the ambassador from this other planet, and he used to be married to Kiem's cousin called Tam, but Tam mysteriously dies. So in order to like appease this treaty for this overarching galactic force called the Resolution, they have to like rush into this marriage, and because the marriage is kind of proving that the 2 like planets get along, which I don't really know how that works, but that's how it happens. Yeah, so Gideon and Kiem are in this like marriage, and it's so cute, and like watching their friendship blossom, and then like maybe a bit more romance. It's so cute, and Kiem is just like this precious little golden boy prince who reminds me a lot of another character who I may love. And yeah, and Gideon just like watching his healing journey, and I feel like it's just such a like a feel-good book, and like very wholesome, but also it has some really hard-hitting themes and like messages, and yeah, I just love this so much. And like the wintry setting, like it's set in space and it's sci-fi, but like the kind of winter element that's added in when they're like traveling through the mountains, and it's so cool. So yeah, and it has this trope which is like where one person gets like really cold because it falls in the river, and then they have to snuggle to keep warm because they're stranded in the wilderness. And oh, yeah, I just love the angst, and just oh yeah, it's so good. So I would highly recommend this one, which I now have 2, but, well 3, but 1's away. But yeah, I'm very thankful to have these. If I could buy everyone a copy of this book, then I would, but alas, I'm not that rich. Maybe one day when I'm a consultant, if that ever happens. Okay, then next we have Alazzo by Darcy Little Badger, and this was our February pick for Chaos Rising Book Club, and I was so happy this arrived because I ordered it in like literally September or October last year, and it didn't show up till now, but it arrived like just on time because I wasn't going to be reading it till now anyway for our book club. But yeah, this cover is really stunning. Like I love the kind of ghosts, and this book is like really heavy. It's kind of, and also the naked as well is very pretty, but it's like really solid. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, like compared to a normal hardback, it's like very sturdy, which I really like actually. It feels very like good quality. It's like it's gonna last me forever. I'll still have this book when I'm 70. Yeah, so I know I really enjoyed this one. We're following Ellie, or Alazzo. I think Alazzo is her full name, but she goes by Ellie. And yeah, she is kind of investigating with her friend the kind of mysterious death of one of her cousins, and there's kind of a lot more to the story, and it's just really fun. It kind of reads middle grade or like younger YA, but like there's something about a middle grade sort of adventure and them like investigating what's going on. And yeah, it's just so enjoyable, and like the characters are just so sweet and lovable, and like you just really root for them. And yeah, so it's a really enjoyable story, and I think it also kind of looks at grief and how different people cope with grief. I think that's really well explored as well. So yeah, that's that one. Then next we have Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston, and this one I'm so excited for because I've heard literally nothing but good things. Like, everyone I've seen read it has basically given it 5 stars. And this one is just so pretty. Like, the text is like in glittery sort of thing, and then I don't know if they like show up really on camera, but they're like silvery glittery sprayed edges, which I just love. They're probably like one of my favourite sprayed edges ever in any book, other than my favourite is the pink edges. Where is it? On City We Became. I love them, but these are a close second. And yeah, so I'm really excited to read this. I believe we're following Amari, who maybe discovers she has like magical powers, but that's all I really know about it. I could read the synopsis, but I like to go into things not knowing too much, especially in middle grade. I feel like you just kind of explore the world, and it's always just such a feel-good thing. So yeah, I'm really excited to have this one. And yeah, the naked cover is very pretty as well. I don't know if this one's signed. No. Because I think it's like a special Waterstones edition, possibly, when I ordered it. And they were like the same price, so I thought I would get the special one, but I don't know. Yeah, so that's this one. Okay, then next we have The Galaxy in the Grand Bin by Becky Chambers, which I was lucky enough to read an arc of this before it came out, and I absolutely adore this one. It's one of my favourite books in the Wayfarer series. And yeah, just look at the cover, it's so pretty. I was kind of torn whether to get the this one or the like Fairy Loot edition, but I actually prefer the colours on this one. I don't know why. Just a bit kind of darker and like more purple, and I like purple. Yeah, and the most stunning like end pages, you can see, it's so pretty. Yeah, I don't know what's in the back. Yeah, it's just the same thing. But yeah, so this one we're kind of following these 3 like strangers, and they end up stranded on this planet. So this planet is kind of a stopover planet for people travelling through the ring gates. And then one day they kind of get stuck there because the kind of communications in orbit all start breaking down. So no one can leave like their sort of hotels. They're not really hotels, they're more like these kind of resorts. So they're all staying at this one resort called the 5 Hop One Stop, which is run by Ulu. And her child Tuppo. So Ulu, Tuppo, and then these 3 other kind of strangers, one of whom is Pei, who we meet in book 1, who is Ashby's like secret girlfriend. So they're all from different like species, and there they have to kind of learn to like get along with each other and respect each other's differences. And yeah, it's just a really kind of contemplative novel, and it's just so kind of quiet and like heartwarming, and you feel kind of like you're taking a break from the world, which is sort of what they're doing in this book. And it's like exploring this idea of a forced break and just how kind of healing that can be, and like thinking about what you really want from life. And yeah, so I just really love this, and I'm so excited to have a nice shiny hardback. Yeah. Okay, then next we have an arc of Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne, which was sent to me by Orbit, so thank you very much to Orbit. And I'm so excited to have this because I really enjoyed the like Faithful and the Fallen series by him, and this is one of my like most anticipated books of 2020. So I'm so excited to get to this. And look at the dragon, it's so cool. I don't really know what this is about, but I know it's like inspired by Norse mythology, or just Norse setting in general, like Vikings. And we're following 3 warriors, and we're just kind of following their journeys as maybe like the war is coming back to the country, or like the old gods are reawakening. So yeah, it sounds really cool, and I feel like it's going to be kind of just a really great like epic fantasy. And I love the like Norse setting. I think that's such a cool setting, and we don't see it a lot in fantasy. I feel like the only other series I've really read like that is the Shattered Sea series by Joe Abercrombie, which the first one is like half a king, I think. Like the last one, they're like, and the other one's like half a world and half a something. But yeah, I actually quite like that series. I like it more than First Law. But yeah, so I'm really excited for this one. Also, I'm very excited for every single book on this list, but I just like to get excited. Okay, the next very exciting was sent to me by the author, and this is Not My Problem by Sarah Smith. And Falling in Love Montage is one of my favourite books like of last year, and probably one of my favourite like YA contemporaries ever. I just love the relationship and the rom-com, and oh, it's so cute. So yeah, I'm actually reading this at the moment, and I'm about halfway through. and I'm loving it. It's so funny. Like, the main character, she's so iconic, and then her little, like, she ends up with these two other characters, one of whom called Carvey is the most precious bean ever. He's so funny, he like cannot stop talking. Oh, he's so cute. But yeah, so I'm really excited to have this one, and she actually sent me 2 copies, one of which I'm doing a giveaway for to someone, one of you. So check my Twitter if you want to see the like giveaway details. But yeah, no, I'm really excited to have this. And this is actually, I thought it was going to be an art copy, but I think this is actually like a finished copy, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm very excited to have this. And we're following Aiden, who's kind of, she starts running this like scheme of at school where she like starts helping other people fix their problems. So it sort of reminds me of sex education in a way, but like not fixing sexual problems, just fixing like general problems. And yeah, but like she can't, but her own life is like slowly spiraling out of control, but she's like can't fix her own problems, but she's fixing everyone else's. And yeah, so it's so enjoyable so far. And yeah, I'm just having a great time. Like, I've laughed out loud so many times already. Like last night I was like sat there snickering and my family was like looking at me like, oh, what is she on? But yeah, so I'm really excited to have this, and it will definitely be treasured in my collection. Yes, we're down to the last couple. So this next one, I have a valid excuse for buying this book. So I wanted to buy myself a textbook, a paediatric textbook, because I thought that would be like an investment for the future, especially because I really like paediatrics, so I might want to go into it. But even if I go into GP, like paediatrics is still a huge part of that. So yeah, I thought I'd buy that. But in order to get to like a certain total, because I always like my orders from Waterstones to like just be over a round number, like just over £10 or just over £20 or just over £30. So then that way you get the maximum amount of points on your stamp card. Have to be sneaky. So in addition to this textbook, I wanted to buy like one more book, so I would just get like over the right amount. So I bought myself Ancestral Night by Elizabeth Bear, which I haven't really heard much about this. It's a sci-fi, and I know the sequel, which is like Machine or something, or I think it's called that, which doesn't come out for a while. Or it might be out in hardback, but it's not out in paperback. Is Sapphic. So I wanted to read this one because it's like the first in the series, and I have actually heard really good things. I mean, I don't know how I feel about the quote on the cover being from the Daily Mail. That's a bit dubious, but yeah, I'm excited to read this, and I think it's, so I'll just read the like synopsis. So they're basically a space salvager and a partner make the discovery of a lifetime which might just change the universe. So a routine salvage mission uncovers evidence of a terrible crime and relics of a powerful ancient technology, just as Hamey and a small crew run afoul of pirates at the outer limits of the Milky Way and found themselves both on the run and in possession of an ancient universe-changing technology, which sounds really good. It sounds like just the kind of sci-fi I love, like super epic and like space opera-y and like really set in space, because I love sci-fi set in space. I do also quite like sci-fis which are quite like earth-based, but this just sounds like really good, and I really love the cover. It's really cool. It kind of reminds me of like The Expanse. I don't know. So yeah, I'm really excited to have this one and read this one, and hopefully discover a new favourite author, because I think Elizabeth Bear is quite a prolific sci-fi author. And then finally, very exciting, we have A Dark and Hollow Star by Ashley Shuttleworth. And I was lucky enough again to read an arc of this early, but I wanted to get a physical copy because I enjoyed it so much and to support the author. Yeah, so and look at the cover, like how could you not want this? Yeah, this is a really fun like YA fantasy series. It kind of reminds me a bit of Shadowhunters in a way, but like much gayer. And so we're following this kind of 4 main characters. So we have Arlo, who's like this, I think has like fairy somewhere in her lineage, and at the start of the book she's kind of being judged to like whether she'll be like graduated to like part of the fairy court or whether she'll like have to live out her days as a human. And then the decision kind of gets prolonged. But then there's these mysterious murders happening of these ironborn like people, and they're kind of like magicians, and they keep dying mysteriously. So like Arlo, and then Nausicaa, who is a like banished fury. So she used to be a fury called Electro, but like something happens and then she gets banished to the human world. So they kind of team up to investigate this, and at the same time, like somewhere else in the world, there's 2 other characters, so Aurelian and Vehan. And Aurelian, I can't remember which way round they are. one of them is like this prince, or and the other one is his bodyguard, and which, first of all, yes, the bodyguard trope just never fails to get me. And they also decide to investigate these murders, and then they end up eventually like teaming up together, and it all just goes crazy. But yeah, it's really enjoyable, and you just kind of fall in love with the characters, and the relationships are so sweet. And yeah, so that's this one, which I'm very excited also to have, and it matches my outfit. That's very iconic of me. But yeah, so yeah, definitely read this one as well, or buy it, or whatever. So yeah, let me know what your favourite book in the comments that you bought recently was, or which book you're most excited for me to read from this haul, although I have read quite a few of them already. But anyway, yeah, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I hope you're all having a great day, and I will see you next time.